Hi and welcome, Lisa here for Imagine Crafts. Thanks for joining me. So in this video, I'm going to be doing some ink smooshing with Memento Luxe inks and Sheer Shimmer Sprays. I'll be using Memento Luxe in the colors Pear, Tart, Tuxedo, Black, Elderberry, and Morocco. And for the Sheer Shimmer Spray, I'll be using Sparkle. I have 2 pieces of watercolor paper that I'm spritzing with water before I get started. I want to let that paper soak that water up. I find it makes it a little bit easier to pick the ink up when you've pre-wet the paper. I'm going to start with Tuxedo Black. I'm just smooshing that down onto my craft mat. I'm going to spritz it with water. We're going to bring our card panels in and just smoosh those down into the ink randomly. Now, once we're happy with that, we'll wipe our mat off and take a heat tool to those to dry them. Now, drying in between each layer of ink is very important so you don't create mud. So just keep that in mind. Pear Tart ink smooshed onto the craft mat, and this time I'm using my Sheer Shimmer Spray instead of water. Now, what I found was I really liked layering the Sheer Shimmer Spray with the inks. Not only are you layering those inks, but all of that shimmer that you're layering on top of each other. Wow, it's amazing. If you've not tried this with your Sheer Shimmer Spray, you should. But if this is something that you are like, I'm not wasting my Sheer Shimmer Spray to do ink smooshing, I totally get that too. Just use water for the ink smooshing part, and then you could spray your panel at the very end. Again, don't forget to dry each panel before you move on to the next color. So Morocco ink this time, I'm repeating the same process. Ink smooshed onto the craft mat, spritzed with Sheer Shimmer Spray, and then randomly smooshing the paper down, picking up that color. Next color up will be Elderberry. Keep in mind that you need to continue to layer. You're only seeing me layering this 4 times, but in reality, I actually layered it about 8 or 9 times. But to save time in the video, I just showed you 4 layers. Also, remember to have fun with this. This can be a very relaxing technique if you let it. Because it's what I call a mindless technique. You don't have to think too hard on what you're doing. And always remember, you're never going to be able to replicate your panels. Make sure you dry them one last time, and then you can go ahead and start to run them through your die cut machine or trim them with your paper trimmer. I'm going to be using some nesting rectangle dies to run mine through the die cut machine, along with the large spooky word die that you see there. I went ahead and I ran those through. Now, I did cut the spooky die out of one of the ink smoosh panels, and then the other panel I ran through my machine with an embossing folder that has webs on it to create a really cool design. For the card with the die cut word here, I've played around with a couple of different colors of cardstock, and I really didn't like the way that it looked on any of them. So I decided the best thing to do was to come in with a white card base, which I have here, and I did run that through the machine in that same embossing folder with the web design. I am coming in with the Memento ink, that's the dye ink, and I'm just inking up around the edges. I'm starting dark and then lightening the pressure as I move towards the center of the panel. I want the center to be as light as I possibly can, and then we'll add some mounting foam to the back of our spooky word and go ahead and center that up on our card base. Nothing real complicated with these cards. They're actually really fast and they're really simple. I did come in and add some fun little gem stickers to that card. So for this card, I did a little bit different. I went ahead and added the panel to a card base using tape. And here I decided I wanted something to help pop that spooky word up off the card front. So I just splattered some white ink onto it with my white brush pen, and then used my gold gel pen to add some details to it. I colored the spider black and the bat black with a black pen, and then used the same foam adhesive strips to add that to the card. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video. So let me know what you think about the cards in the comments below, and I really appreciate you joining me. Now, for more information on the products I used, you can head over to the Imagine Crafts website and check them out there. And until next time, take care and keep crafting.